All right, guys, something I want to talk about here. So I was not scheduled to work today. So I told my boss, one of them, one of many, that I will not be in today. Um, they were like, "Well, we did the schedule last week and you had time to say something." I'm like, "I don't work on Tuesdays. It's not the day I work. I did send you an email." They're like, "Oh, we don't have anything on the computer, so you have to come in." So last night I didn't say anything because I'm not confrontational unless I have to be. And so I called last night and talked to someone else, and I'm like, "Yeah, don't expect me to come in today. You didn't ask if I could come in. You today I have commitments, etc." So, anyways, speaking of confrontation, I want to talk about something. So, some people will say, "You know what? I never had a confrontation with my in-laws, kind of thing." And I never did up until I had kids. So when I dated my husband, um, we were always together at his house, and his parents had their own life, and we had our life, and we were always together, always doing movies, out to eat, swimming, working together, everything together as best friends. And then we were dating, and we used to listen to Van Halen in the pool and do all this stuff together. Once I had kids, the first confrontation my mother in law gave me was she was playing a record, and I'm like, I had just become a new Christian, baby Christian, so I was sensitive to what I had come out of. And part of that was the music that influenced me as a teen. And so I'm like, they're young. I don't really want them listening, to this kind of music right now. And she's like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, yeah, but I just don't want them listening to this because I felt like for me personally, where I came out of a lot of, rock and roll music and a lot of stuff. I just didn't want that for my kids when they were little. So that was the first confrontation. And then there was, they can have candy. When I said, no, they're too young to have the hard candy. They can have candy. I'm the grandmother and I can give them candy. Fine. Okay. Then my kid starts choking. You don't have to watch them so closely at the pool, Melissa. My kid falls in the pool and starts drowning. Who jumps in? I do. So once I had kids, then the confrontation started. And then once I had put some boundaries up for myself and said, look, we won't be over all the time. We're not going to all these parties. I'm homeschooling 3 kids plus, and we have other things to do. So, confrontation, guys, isn't necessarily bad. Okay. So now the confrontation has moved to a point where it's become a divorce, not just from my husband, but like his whole family has encouraged divorce, right? For no reason. No reason, really. My husband has said, oh, he finally has his peace, right? Basically, that's what he wanted a divorce for, to have his peace. What is peace? Peace is life coming around you with a whole bunch of trials in life, and you still are grounded in God, knowing that everything is working for a reason, knowing that He has your back. That's what peace is. Peace is not picking a little piece of land or something or a house, having an empty box and being like, oh, everything's nice and quiet now and I have a peaceful life. That is not peace. And I was watching Vikings last night with my sons, and Ragnar, the main character, left for years. He left his family, he left his community. He was the king. And they're like, what kind of man leaves his sons? What kind of man leaves his family, right? And he realized what he did was wrong and he had regret. Same thing. Men are not supposed to leave their families. If you don't like a wife saying something to you, then all you have to do is say, hey, honey, let's not talk about this right now. Or I love you. Usually, when a man loves a woman, that will just be like so softening for her. So, my husband is still trying to blame me when everything was good up until like the very end when he started changing. So don't let your husband blame you, guys. And also, it's not bad to have confrontation when you love people. When you're like, oh, you know what? And this is where I come from. I come from a small town, very hickish. When people love you too, they will fight with you because they love you. Having confrontation is not a bad thing. You can battle it out and you can turn around and say, hey, you know what? I've got some thick skin and I still love you. And for the sake of the gospel, guys, that is a big part of my confrontation here. I have family who is not saved, they're on their way to hell. And for me to continue standing up for my beliefs in God and being hopefully some kind of light to them that they are on their way to hell unless they repent. Hopefully, they will understand there still is a lot of love there for them, and we want them to come to heaven with us. So that is main part of confrontation is you're looking out for their good, you're looking out for their best. My husband was going the wrong way with the divorce, and I was like, you're not getting away with this. We are going to fight about this. So guys, sometimes you have to have tough skin, you have to have the tough talks in life. You have to be tough in life. It doesn't mean that you don't love people. Okay, that's what I got for now, guys. Thanks for joining me.